I told you guys it was coming, man. I told you the video would be uploaded. I told you I would be doing not one, but two NXT videos during the week. On Wednesday, we now have NXT UK to look forward to. Today was the debut, the premiere episode, Pete Dunne versus Noam Dar in the main event for the United Kingdom Championship. And I reviewed episode 1. This is going to be a new series on the channel, man. So if you guys want my thoughts on NXT UK, the debut episode, it is live on the channel right now. So please go and check that out and show it some support, man. One thing that greatly hurts me in every way possible is when I upload a video and people tell me, JD, where's the video? Did you upload the UK NXT stuff? Yeah, I did. And this type of stuff was coming in to me on my Twitter at like 8:30. Like, bro, seriously, it's on the channel. Which means two things. One, people aren't really listening too well. Or two, YouTube's notifications are fucked up. But if you guys want instant notifications, all you have to do is follow me on Twitter at JD from NY206. Set the bell, set the alarm on Twitter. You will always be notified right to your mobile device. So please, set your alarms, set your bells, turn on your bells, set your notifications so that you don't miss an upload, man. If you guys want to set the bell and the alarm on YouTube, do it on Twitter as well. You should always be notified of when I do upload a video, but it is live on the channel, man. NXT UK review live on the channel this evening. What we're going to be doing today is we are going to talk about NXT, and then we're going to transition into the Mae Young Classic stuff, man. We're going to be doing NXT and the Mae Young Classic stuff in the same video instead of doing separate videos for a few reasons. One, I think it's a little bit more, I guess, compact to do it in one video. I don't want to overflow you guys with videos in the sub boxes because there are other things that I want to do. Really, like WWE 2K19 and Spider-Man. Yes, it's coming. Fucking Christ, it's coming. I just have a lot of things going on right now, man. But we're going to do both the NXT show from tonight and Mae Young Classic episode 7 in today's podcast video, whatever you want to call it. We're going to be talking about it today right here on the channel, man. So thank you guys for all your support. I would greatly appreciate you guys to hit that thumbs up. Let's strive for 1,200. Nice little number out there, man. 1,200 thumbs up on this NXT Mae Young Classic review right here tonight, man. NXT started off very simple. Tag team titles, War Raiders versus the Undisputed Era. No bullshit, no promos, no introductions. It was just War Raiders, Undisputed Era, tag team titles on the line. I love War Raiders, man. I think they are a really good fucking tag team. Now, I don't know about their prior history in New Japan and working Ring of Honor. I didn't really follow them through the indies. But they are here. They are under Triple H's thumb. And they are on NXT. Right now, that is all that matters. And when I tell you the War Raiders are fucking impressive, they are fucking impressive, man. These guys, how big they are, and the shit that they do is absolutely fucking criminal. Really. And then Undisputed Era, they speak for themselves, man. Mauro Ranallo put it perfectly. They are surgeons. They go in there and they fucking slice and dice and cut you up. They dissect you the best way that they can. They focus on a body part. They fucking murder you. And then boom. They try and exploit your weakness, man. This is what this match was all about. This is why I was so intrigued about these two teams finally stepping in the ring for the first time on NXT. War Raiders, obviously big, large. Vikings. Undisputed Era, a little bit more of that classic old school throwback style. Mat Tacticians. So, this was going to be a very interesting situation here for the NXT Tag Team Championship. Now, we all know that WWE is getting ready for War Games. And we all know that War Raiders are probably going to be in War Games. I mean, it's in the fucking name of the team. And I'm sure that has nothing to do with it. It's just a silly coincidence. Undisputed Era have been feuding with literally everybody. Undisputed Era have been feuding with War Raiders. They've been feuding with Ricochet. They've been feuding with Mustache Mountain and Pete Dunne. So you guys know that all these little combustible elements will be thrown into one big fucking soup bowl. They'll be whisked away. And they'll be just thrown into War Games to just iron out all their differences. We all know what is going on. I did not expect, nor did I think, WWE would take the tag team titles off of Undisputed Era right now, because it would be stupid to do so. It would be stupid to do so. The Undisputed Era are the best tag team in all of WWE right now. They are the best faction in all of WWE right now. Why would you take the titles off of the best team in the best faction in the company? If you are the best at what you do, then you should be representing the company with championship gold. This is a simple fucking thing that I wish WWE would adhere to, but they don't. They don't. They do it in NXT, on Raw and SmackDown. It's a fucking mess. But that's another story for a Monday or Tuesday. I don't want to sully or soil NXT with Monday Night Raw and SmackDown live talk. This was a damn good fucking match, man. This was a really, really, really good match. The double team moves of the War Raiders, man, they made me sit up on my couch, man. They got me excited. Seriously. The double team continuity between Hanson and Rowe, beautiful. Whether it was Rowe picking up Hanson or fucking Hanson throwing Rowe into either Kyle O'Reilly or Roderick Strong was ridiculous. So the match really slowed down because Undisputed Era, like I said, like Morrow said so beautifully, they are surgeons. They're going to dissect a body part and they're going to exploit you. Undisputed Era started to just attack Rowe any which way that they can and take him out of the match. They're working over his leg. And they brought back, and I love Nigel. This is why I love Nigel so much. They brought up the situation where they did the same thing to Mustache Mountain and Trent Seven. So they're doing the same thing here to try and get one over on the much larger War Raiders. So they continue working over Rowe's leg, but Rowe gets a modified STO. You don't really see the STO that often, but he got a STO. Hanson tags in. Big back body drop on Roderick Strong, splashes down on top of him, sits down on O'Reilly. I don't want Hanson sitting on any part of me whatsoever. So he cartwheels away from Strong, big lariat, Bronco Buster. Hanson of War Raiders doing a fucking Bronco Buster. Ridiculous. Rowe sends O'Reilly crashing out of the ring. Hanson gets Strong up on Rowe's shoulders. Hanson with a springboard clothesline. Again, Hanson off the second middle rope with a springboard clothesline off of Rowe's shoulders. If that's not impressive to you, I don't know what the fuck you're watching. Seriously. Now, Adam Cole, out of nowhere. He didn't walk down the aisle with Undisputed Era. Adam Cole comes to the ring. He gets in the ring. Referee's discretion, doesn't call for the belt. Adam Cole didn't lay a hand on anybody. He didn't lay a hand on Hanson or Rowe, but he got involved. Referee let it go. So, Adam Cole tries to throw a punch. Hanson blocks it and punches Cole out of the ring. The force of Hanson's punch just leveled Cole out of the ring. Strong then comes into the ring with a knee to Hanson. O'Reilly then comes in and takes Rowe out of the picture. Olympic slam by Strong on Rowe. He kicks out. This is where shit's really breaking down. O'Reilly tagged in. Everybody is just all over everybody. It's chaos. All four guys are in the ring. So there's a heel hook on Rowe. Hanson then lifts and drops Strong on O'Reilly to break it up. O'Reilly with a big boot and multiple open palm strikes to Hanson. Rowe pops him up, and Hanson finishes him off with a power slam. So it was a pop-up power slam finished off by Hanson. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Hanson then hits a suicide dive out to the ring on O'Reilly and Cole. So he risked himself to take those two guys out so Rowe can finish off strong in the ring. Hanson then goes up to the top rope. They go for their finisher. Big guillotine leg drop. Cover, and out of nowhere, and this is why I don't read the spoilers. I love when I don't know what's going on, especially with a tape show. Bobby fucking Fish comes out of nowhere, looks fantastic with a steel chair, and he is just slaughtering the War Raiders with this steel chair. Referee has no choice. He calls for the bell. The War Raiders win by DQ. Undisputed Era retains the tag team titles thanks to not Adam Cole, but Bobby Fish, who has returned. Man, this was a great fucking tag team match. And the great thing about it is this opened the show. So whatever they had in the main event, you knew was going to be bigger than what we got here. Because the tag team division and the tag team titles in NXT have been absolutely on fire all year. And this was a taste of what these two teams can do. Imagine when we get the War Raiders coming ever so close and finally winning the tag team titles. What type of stipulation there's going to be where Undisputed Era can't get involved. This is going to break down and it's going to be fucking great, man. War Raiders are, they've been given garbage teams. They've been, kind of protected. And we really haven't seen a lot of what they can do. We've seen some of what they can do, but we haven't seen a lot of what they can do. And they proved a lot tonight against a team who right now is absolutely unstoppable in Undisputed Era. This was a great fucking tag team match, man. I wouldn't say it was on par with what the Undisputed Era did with Mustache Mountain or even Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. But the best is yet to come, man. This is going to be a great feud. I can't wait to see what these two teams have in store for us at War Games. This was great. Britt Baker, the girlfriend of Adam Cole, makes, I don't think this is her NXT debut. Maybe it's her in-ring debut. I'm not really sure. I know she's been on NXT TV. I remember the last time I seen Britt Baker was she was playing one of Andrade Cien Almas's dates. I remember him walking to a limo one day when Zelina Vega was just about to be introduced. And all of a sudden we see Britt Baker there. And he's one of Andrade's girls in the posse. So that's when I remember seeing Britt Baker last in NXT. This very well may be her first NXT match. I'm not really sure. Someone please correct me if I am indeed wrong. But she had a tall task ahead of her. She went one-on-one with Shayna Baszler. So this one didn't last very long at all. Shayna Baszler wins this one by referee stoppage. Fireman's carry, and Baszler goes right for Britt Baker's arm. She cranks the wrist and then goes into a modified bow and arrow. This was all fun and games right here until the real shit got unveiled for Shayna Baszler and Britt Baker. Baszler plants her hand down into the mat, stomps it, and the referee is checking on Britt Baker, decides to call the match and call for help. And the referee stoppage, like I said, Shayna Baszler beats Britt Baker. Baker did a whole lot of selling, yelping and screaming and crying. So she really did her job to make Shayna Baszler look like a fucking terrorist, almost, a downright fucking evil person. So Shayna Baszler, after the match, kicks Britt Baker's head off and smiles about it and loves what she's done. And this was pretty much done to set up the match with Kairi Sane. How will Kairi Sane be able to compete? Is Kairi Sane going to be able to top this Shayna Baszler? I don't believe Kairi Sane has to be in the ring with this animal. That typical WWE protocol there. They're building Shayna Baszler up as a monster and a threat to Kairi Sane, which they need to do, which she is. I don't think Shayna Baszler is going to win the title. I honestly think this will be Shayna Baszler's last match in NXT, period. She's getting called up to the main roster. That's just a prediction, a wild assumption. But if I'm wrong, I hope so. If not, you know where you heard it. Shayna Baszler is getting called up to the main roster when she loses to Kairi Sane at Evolution. William Regal. He was asked about Nikki Cross and the claim that she knows who attacked Aleister Black. Regal says he needs to find out soon if she does or not, because Black is coming back soon. We didn't know what soon meant, but soon meant tonight, which I'll talk about in a second. Tian Bing. He is, if that name sounds familiar to you, you know, it is. Tian Bing is WWE's first Chinese, athlete signee. This was the first Chinese-born athlete to the WWE. If I'm not mistaken, that's what Mauro Ranallo said. He teamed with someone by the name of Rocky. And I don't usually say this about throwaway tag teams that I know are going to be fed to a returning team or a new, bigger team. But Tian Bing and Rocky, oddly, fit together very well. And with the theme music that they had coming out to, or with the theme music that NXT had these guys come out to, I don't know if I was watching NXT or listening to the Mega Man soundtrack. I loved it. I thought it was great. And I'm thinking to myself, but this is a pretty elaborate theme for someone who's making his NXT TV debut in a nothing tag team, more than likely. So these guys are either going to be a big deal as a tag team, or Tian Bing is going to have a lot of backing from WWE here, because that's a pretty damn good theme to give to somebody who really hasn't been on TV and nobody knows about. That's just the way I was interpreting that, but I loved it. I thought it was great. They went against Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch here. This was pretty self-explanatory. Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan back together. I love them. Underdog tag team, Cinderella tag team. Probably, to me, still the best tag team match of the year with Undisputed Era in Chicago at TakeOver. Oney Lorcan was the one who was hurt. I believe he had a broken orbital bone, if I'm not mistaken, so he was out a couple of months. Danny Burch had nothing to do. Danny Burch is thanking the gods that Oney Lorcan is back. They are much better together than they are separated. So this one, like I said, was pretty self-explanatory. We had Lorcan tagged in, and that double team implant DDT cover 1, 2, 3, and this one is over in relatively quick fashion. Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch back to their winning ways in the tag team division. Tag team division just got stronger in NXT with the returning Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan. WWE is hyping William Regal will make a major announcement about the NXT Championship for NXT TakeOver War Games. I'm assuming that it will be Tommaso Ciampa versus the Velveteen Dream for the NXT Championship. I think you guys already know that based on what we've seen already with Dream and Ciampa. Main event was absolutely fucking fantastic, man. Bianca Belair versus Nikki Cross. Nothing on the line here. There was no championships on the line. There was no stipulations. There was no bells and whistles. And this was a standard one-on-one women's match in the main event. And you could see why they gave these women the main event tonight on this show. And I want to reiterate again to you guys how great Bianca Belair is. I want to reiterate to you once again that Bianca Belair is on level with me. When I talk about Toni Storm, Bianca Belair is right there. That's how I feel. Okay? She is fantastic. Everything about her, I am absolutely in love with. She is great. She is going to be a major, major, major star in WWE, and if they fuck this up, there is no hope in this lifetime or the next for WWE. None. Absolutely none. Nikki Cross, I can't help but smile with how great Nikki Cross plays her character. It's unbelievable. And the fans love it. And I'm sitting here thinking about this. I'm looking at these two and I'm like, man, how quick do you think WWE would fuck up Bianca Belair on the main roster? Seriously. What would they have her do? They'd probably pair her with Naomi and have her come out dancing next to Asuka and Naomi. Feel the glow times 3. Right? Or better yet, how long will it take before Vince McMahon looks at Bianca Belair and says she needs a tit job when she really doesn't need one at all? She needs nothing done to her. Period. Let the in-ring work speak for itself. This is not Barbie. You know, this is not a dollhouse. This is a women's revolution. The other thing I want to make, or the other point I want to make and bring up, you talk about Evolution on October 28th, right? Look no further than what you've seen here. I guarantee you, outside of the NXT stuff that's already been announced for Evolution and the Mae Young Classic final, this match will be better than everything on Evolution in a couple of weeks. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. This match was so good that it could be a main event match on Evolution. And this is what we should be seeing. This match here. This is not only, one example. This is one example of many that we've talked about already. This is one example of many of what the Evolution and this revolution should be about. It should be about the Biancas and the Nikki Crosses and the Sasha Banks and the Baileys and the Candice LeRays and the Kairi Sanes and the Toni Storms and everybody else that I could throw into this fucking boat of female talent that WWE has fucking ripping at the seams. This is what the revolution should be about. The revolution isn't about Trish or Alexa or Lita or Tori Wilson or fucking Candice Michelle and Ivory and Beth Phoenix and all these other fucking women that WWE wants to bring back. Michelle McCool. It's not about that. It's not about that whatsoever. Those women have seen their day. Those women have done their time and played their roles. They've given to what we've seen today. Now it's the women of today's turn. The Evolution pay-per-view is absolutely 100% going backwards instead of forwards. You talk about an evolution. They're not evolving. They're going backwards. I don't understand how you watch a match like this tonight and then you watch Evolution and wait for what WWE is presenting to you, and it has nothing to do what really is women's wrestling and what they've built up. I can't wait till this fucking show bombs. What did I say? It's going to bomb on nuclear levels, and I can't wait. I'll be sitting down on my couch with my sunglasses as the fucking nuclear fucking bomb explodes with a cold beverage in my hand. I'll have my fucking legs crossed. I'll have my arms crossed. Just sitting down. Laughing. Ridiculous. Nikki Cross and Bianca Belair showed you exactly what the evolution is. Is WWE going to portray what these women did on that show? Probably not. Not from the main roster, anyway. Not from the main roster. The main roster is about a political push and a political agenda and reality TV. Because Nikki Bella is a reality TV star. Meanwhile, this is what the Evolution and the women's division was built on. This is why the change was made for this. And now you're not embracing that. You're embracing everything that we hated about the women's division. With different names. We got the Bella Twins trying to kind of weasel themselves back into the women's division to kind of fit in. Meanwhile, they don't. Ronda Rousey's being used as a fucking puppet strung along on strings because she's Ronda Rousey. She's the biggest female star in the world. Yeah, we're going to build this division around her. We're going to build this pay-per-view around her. Nobody's going to notice. I notice. You notice. It's a crock of shit. An absolute crock of shit. This match was great. I loved everything about this match, man. The storytelling, the frustration, the facial reactions on Bianca Belair, the fact that Nikki Cross was laying down and Bianca was telling her to stay down and she was just smiling and Bianca just kept kicking her and kicking her and kicking her and she starts laughing and laughing and laughing, does Nikki Cross. Great stuff. Absolutely great stuff. Cross hits a splash in the corner, then a running bulldog. Cross heads up top, cross body block on Bianca for a 2 count. Cross keeps charging, gets shoved back. Belair lands a massive forearm that almost knocked Nikki Cross's head into the fucking 8th row. I think I seen it roll up the ramp, actually. So massive forearm from Bianca. Spear by Belair, 2 count. She tried several pinning combinations, and Nikki Cross kept kicking out, kicking out, kicking out. Bianca kept yelling, stay down, stay down. So she lifted Nikki Cross up from the pinning position, off the mat. This is how strong Bianca Belair is. She lifted Nikki Cross up from the pinning position, up off the mat, and into a sit-out powerbomb. A deadlift sit-out powerbomb. That wasn't even it. That wasn't even it. She also did later in the match, she bench pressed Nikki Cross and did squats with Nikki Cross held above her head. And if this woman is not a superior athlete, I don't know what the fuck you think a superior athlete is then. So, after the sit-out powerbomb, Belair can't believe it. Belair and her facial expressions after the sit-out powerbomb, I think Morrow called it the Belair bomb. Fucking unbelievable, man. I honestly thought, and she did. If you go back and ask her, that's exactly what she was thinking. And she almost mouthed the same exact words I was thinking. She looked at Nikki Cross when she kicked out of the Belair bomb, the sit-out power bomb, and you could see her read her lips say, what the fuck? She stopped herself at what the, you know? She said, what the fuck? That's what she said. If you go back and watch, you can look. So she can't believe it. She wraps her hair up, right? That weapon, that fucking illegal but not illegal weapon that she has, she wrapped it up. And she yells at Cross to stay down, like I said. Cross is smiling, looking at her. Belair with a slap to the face. Cross sat up on the top turnbuckle. Belair with a military press, and she does squats with Nikki Cross held above her head, bench pressed. Cross comes out of that because Bianca was cocky, and she turns it into a sleeper and a scorpion death drop for a 2 count. Cross heads to the top, and Belair smacks Cross right across the midsection with her hair. She hasn't used the hair whip in many, many months. And when she does, the crowd fucking pops. Pops big. So I was happy to see her use the hair whip, man. That got her right back into the game. Belair stumbles up to the top rope. Cross explodes up to stop Belair and hits a second rope superplex. Both are down, and all of a sudden, the lights go out and we hear the beginning notes. That guitar strum of Aleister Black's theme music. We don't hear his music at all. All we hear is the beginning intro to his theme music. The music stops. Lights come back on. Aleister Black is sitting in the ring, Indian style. So, the fans are chanting, holy shit. A massive holy shit chant rings out through Full Sail University. Bianca's nowhere to be found. The match seemingly was a no contest because Bianca just fucking disappeared. I think she got sucked into the black abyss when Aleister Black came out. This is a great thing. 1, Aleister Black is back. 2, we get another match with Bianca Belair and Nikki Cross because they still have unfinished business. Which, at this point, I don't mind. After what we've seen here, you know these women are going to fucking kill it next time they're in the ring for a third time. Maybe at War Games. I don't know. But Aleister Black is back in NXT. He's in the ring. He's sitting Indian style. Nikki Cross is yelling at Aleister Black and rolling on her back. I know. And the crowd is chanting, Nikki's got a secret, right? And this is how invested people are in the fucking storyline, man. Aleister Black is stone cold, just sitting there. And all he does is this. Like he's summoning Nikki Cross over. And he's got some trance over Nikki Cross. So she stops acting crazy. She's got this fucking like mesmerized look on her face, and she starts crawling over, selling the effects of the match with Bianca Belair. She starts crawling over slowly. And then Aleister Black says, tell me. He's literally growling at her. Tell me. So she slowly goes to his left ear. He tells her, or she tells her rather, she tells him, I fucked that up completely. She tells him what he needs to know, and all of a sudden, it looks like Aleister Black is having a stroke. He is seething with fucking anger to the point where he is literally convulsing in the middle of the ring. He gets mad, she smiles, slides out of the ring, and the crowd is chanting who? They're doing the New Day who. Now, when Nikki Cross was crawling over to Aleister Black, this is how invested the crowd is in this storyline, like I mentioned before. Everybody started doing shh, little silence over the crowd, because they wanted to possibly hear what Nikki Cross was going to say, even though, you were never going to find out then anyway. But Aleister Black went off the air, seething and convulsing with anger. And that was the last thing we seen on NXT TV tonight, man. This is fantastic. What a great fucking episode of NXT, man. Really, we got a tag team title match. We got a great women's match that is the personification of what the Revolution should be. And we got the near conclusion of Aleister Black and who attacked Aleister Black. This was a fantastic episode of NXT, man. Great, great, great shit. So that's that. Let me know what you guys think of NXT tonight, as we now are 1 month away from NXT War Games and what's going to happen. Man, War Games is shaping up to be a fucking colossal event for NXT, man. I can't wait. I'm going to do a quick transition, man. We're going to talk about the Mae Young Classic and what we've seen tonight in a very, very great, yet very emotional episode 7 of the Mae Young Classic. Before I get into the Mae Young Classic stuff, guys, I want to apologize to everybody that has watched and waited for me to review the last 2 episodes that I did not do. I honestly have been out of the game for the last couple of weeks, the last couple of Wednesdays. I haven't really felt that good. And knowing that I was going to do NXT UK, I'm like, I can't do all these videos, man. I can't do all this coverage. So I kind of fucked up on those episodes. I know you guys wanted my thoughts on that, but we're going to pick it up today right here in this particular video with episode 7. So we're going to talk about episode 7, and then we're going to do next week, and then we're going to be in the finals pretty much. So we got 2 weeks, this week and next week, and then we're good to go, and then we can worry about just NXT and then NXT UK on Wednesday. But I've been loving this tournament. This tournament has been absolutely fucking fantastic. So much better than last year's. Not perfect by any means. The commentary team is fucking ridiculous, man. At times, I'm zoning out when I'm listening to them. I'm just watching what the women are doing in the ring. Case in point, in the first match with Lacey Lane versus Meiko Satomura, who, in my honest opinion, Meiko is the MVP of this entire tournament. I'm letting you guys know right now. How this woman is, A, not signed to a WWE NXT deal, 2, how this woman is not on WWE Evolution is absolutely fucking criminal. You got Asuka in a fucking battle royal, right? And then you're watching Meiko Satomura blow everybody away with great match after great match after great match in the Mae Young Classic. You mean to tell me you couldn't make Asuka versus Meiko at WWE Evolution? What the fuck is that about? But the best idea you got is to put Asuka in a fucking battle royal that she's probably not going to win. Ridiculous. Or put Meiko versus Sasha Banks, being that they had a little Twitter interaction a couple weeks ago. I don't understand how Evolution is not what everybody thinks it is. A lot of people in the community think it's going to be some fucking celebration of a women's evolution. It's not. It's not a revolution or an evolution of women's wrestling. They're going backwards. You want an evolution? You want a revolution? Then you watch this shit. Or you watch NXT. This bullshit that they're feeding you is Vince's idea of women's wrestling. And we all know that's bullshit. Meiko Satomura is the MVP of the Mae Young Classic. I love me some Toni Storm. Tegan Nox has been great. Rhea Ripley has been fantastic. You know, EO, you guys know, self-explanatory. You got Dianna Perazzo, Casey Catanzaro, but Meiko Satomura is the MVP of this tournament. Remember when I said the commentary team is ridiculous at times and I zone them out when I can and just watch the wrestling? You want to make this tournament perfect next year? Then get fucking Mauro Ranallo to do the commentary with Nigel McGuinness next year. Or if you want a female talent, have Beth Phoenix there. Seriously. But Mauro has to be there next year. Michael Cole is a blithering fucking idiot. This guy, in this match with Lacey Lane and Meiko Satomura, he said something so asinine, I think I honestly became dumber just listening to this guy. He says, and I quote, Lacey Lane has nothing to lose. Nothing to lose. What the fuck does that mean? He also went on to say that if Meiko loses to Lacey Lane, this would be an embarrassing loss. Yet, all tournament, he's been talking about how she's a dark horse and how she's going to be a rising star in NXT. So, Meiko losing to Lacey Lane is embarrassing, but she's a rising star, a hot prospect in NXT. Which is it? You can't be both. This guy's a fucking idiot. And then Lacey Lane has nothing to lose? Correct me if I'm wrong. If she loses to Meiko Satomura, then she's out of the tournament. If she loses to Meiko and is out of the tournament, then she doesn't go to Evolution. She loses and loses everything. So I don't understand why he said, well, if Lacey Lane loses here, she loses nothing. She has nothing to lose. The fuck are you talking about? Complete fucking stupidity. Morrow would have never made those comments in a million fucking years. But Michael Cole thinks he's the greatest commentator alive. What a dumbass. Anyway, Lacey Lane, Meiko Satomura, you guys knew what was going on here. Lacey was just outmatched. She tried and she tried and she tried, but it was too much, man. Fireman's carry, Lane slipped out, sidesteps Meiko. Then she goes for an enziguri, only gets a 2 count. Waistlock, Meiko is up. Lacey slips under, and then she goes for a couple combination kicks. Off the ropes, buzzsaw roundhouse kick connects. A second one into an armbar with ease. But Lane keeps her hands clasped. So Meiko turned it into an armbar. Buzzsaw roundhouse kick connects right into an armbar. Lacey kept her hands interlocked, so she couldn't get the armbar, did Meiko completely, but she gets to the ropes. So chest kicks, snap suplex. Meiko is a savage at this point. Lacey dodges punches, lays some forearms down. She has Meiko in the corner, lines her up, charging in for a huge jumping knee. Double jump springboard into a turning crossbody. Lacey Lane came this close from beating Meiko Satomura. Satomura pretty much said, you know what? Enough of your fucking bullshit. I'm about to end this shit. And she does a roundhouse kick and a fucking Death Valley driver. That was absolutely fucking devastating, man. Meiko has the best Death Valley driver in the business right now. From what I could tell in this tournament. Devastating. 1, 2, 3, Meiko wins. And she goes on to challenge the winner of the Toni Storm Mia Yim match that is in the main event. Dianna Perazzo versus Io Shirai. We all knew how this one was going to end up. Io Shirai wins with what they are calling an acai moonsault. That's the name of her finishing move. I guess that's what Michael Cole is calling it. I don't know. But Io Shirai wins here. Dianna Perazzo, man, she also had a great showing in this tournament. She was definitely one of my favorites and is going to be one of my favorites in NXT, man. She's got a great look. I love the way she carries herself, and she's damn good at what she does. This was a very, very competitive match, and at the end of this thing, we had the double knees in the corner, and Io gets up top. I love the way she climbs the top rope, man. She jumps and then jumps into the moonsault, and she wins with the moonsault there. You know, the thing with Io is, man, she gets so much height and so much distance that every time she does the moonsault, she overshoots it. I'd love to see her nail it completely, 100% accurate. So, you know, she gets a little bit too excited. We know that she could fly. We know she is the, what are they calling her? You know, the, I don't know, I forgot what Michael Cole is fucking, some fucking cringe name he's calling her, the Queen of the Skies or some shit like that. But Io Shirai wins with the moonsault, man. This was a very, very competitive match. There was no doubt about the finish. You know, as long as Dianna looked strong, Dianna almost tried to, or actually she did get the Fujiwara armbar, and it was not enough, man. I was going to call her Meiko. Io turned it into a crossface, which was great, man. So this was a very, very good match. Not the best match of the night. Believe it or not, the best match of the night was Toni Storm and Mia Yim, but Io Shirai wins by pinfall with the acai moonsault. She advances to the next round. She will face the winner of Rhea Ripley and Tegan Nox, which was the entire story of this episode, the entire story of the entire tournament, completely. Tegan Nox, man, you know, I'm not familiar with Tegan Nox. I don't recall, looking her up before the tournament. I'm not familiar with what she did in the Indies. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not keen on Tegan Nox. I didn't really do my research on Tegan. This was the first time I've legitimately seen Tegan in the ring, and from what I've seen in this tournament, I am a huge fan already. I think she's got a great look. I think she's gorgeous. I think she is just a ball of energy, and I think she's got a bright fucking future if she could stay healthy. If she could stay healthy. Now, I was actually looking forward to this match because Rhea Ripley has been one of my favorites in the entire tournament as well. The way she transformed herself from last year has been absolutely phenomenal, man. And she's going to be a major, major star in WWE when it comes to female wrestling. She's got it all. She's got the look, she's got the attitude, she's got the intensity that I love. Everything about Rhea Ripley is fantastic. This was the match that everybody kind of knew coming in, was the end-all, be-all for the injury. We heard about it. We read about it. We were spoiled about the injury. It was all over the dirt sheets. We didn't know how bad it was. We heard it. We read it. It's another thing to read it and hear it. It's completely another thing to see it when it happens. And I would absolutely be fucking bullshitting you. I would be bullshitting you if I told you I did not shed a few tears watching this fucking match, man. I love this sport so much. I love this industry so much. To see someone completely taken out of something that they love and that they've worked so hard for is absolutely fucking heartbreaking, man. But what we watched, though overly emotional and fucking horrible, could have absolutely been avoided. Absolutely been avoided. Within seconds, this match was over. A suicide dive to start the match like that? Why? I don't understand why. I guarantee you, if I'm Tegan Nox and I come back from this injury, I am not doing another fucking suicide dive ever again. That was completely unnecessary to start the match. It should have started in a completely different way, opposite of what we've seen tonight. Ridiculous. And she's out of the tournament. Out of the tournament. She did a suicide dive onto Rhea Ripley, crossbody onto Rhea Ripley on the outside, and her knee comes down, the good knee. The knee that doesn't have the brace. Her good knee comes and strikes the steel ramp on the lower portion of the stage. And the match at that point was over. Dead silence fell over the crowd. She was hopping around. She was limping around. Michael Cole was like, uh-oh. Tegan Nox is hurt. At that point, we didn't know if it was a storyline match-related injury to sell the effects of what happened, or if it was a real deal. So, the referee wanted to stop. She was given the X. Tegan, you heard her say, no, I'm fine. So, that kind of played with everybody's emotions. Is this a legit injury, or is this something that's supposed to happen in the match? So Tegan was caught saying, I'm fine. But that's when the injury happened. So for Tegan to say, I'm fine, that was her completely speaking out of her mind. She knew she was hurt. She knew what had happened. She did not want to exit that ring. She wanted to finish that match. And she was telling everybody that she was fine. She even got the referee to back away, and the match continued. You seen her physically hobbling on one leg, while Rhea Ripley was just fucking dominating her most of this match. And then all of a sudden, a drop kick from Rhea Ripley, a devastating one at that. A drop kick to Rhea Ripley. I never seen a hush come over a fucking audience like I did when this move was hit. When this dropkick was hit, and you heard Tegan Nox just crying and wincing in pain, and Tegan, the referee, wanted to stop the match after the suicide dive. Tegan got back in there, took the dropkick, and she gave herself the X. She was giving the referee the X. I can't do it. They stopped it. The hush that fell over the crowd was absolutely, it was haunting. It was a fucking haunting feeling that came over the crowd. Everyone in that fucking arena, there was not a breath to be heard. And at this point, man, I actually started to shed a few tears. Because the camera was right up on Tegan. You could physically hear her say, I can't do this again. And the trainer, and two trainers actually, and a referee, took her out of the arena. Rhea Ripley was not supposed to win that match. It was going to be Tegan Nox. Tegan Nox was going to go on and fight Io Shirai. Whether or not she would have advanced past Io Shirai, probably not. But I will tell you this, man. No matter how emotional that match was tonight, no matter how emotional that injury was to Tegan Nox, this is going to make a good story. You don't think she's going to come back stronger and work her ass off to get back in that ring again? The thing is, can she remain healthy? Now, if Io wins it, if Tony wins it, if Rhea wins it, we all know what the finals are. If we get Kyrie and then whoever wins it this year, and then next year, if we get Tegan coming back completely healthy, and Tegan is in the tournament, how great of a story do you think this would be if Tegan comes back from this devastating injury to not one knee, but the second knee, and wins the entire Mae Young Classic in year 3? What a fairy tale story that would be. That's probably what Triple H is thinking right now. If she can come back and remain healthy and show him that he's healthy, or they'll show him that she's healthy, it would be an unbelievable story. But I would be lying to you if I told you I did not shed a tear during this shit. This was overly emotional, man. It's one thing to read it online. It's another thing to watch it physically happen and see her literally crying, saying to everybody, I can't do this again. She fought and fought and fought to not have that match end the way it did. That dropkick just said, that whole fucking knee exploded. Absolutely ridiculous, man. Rhea Ripley wins. Referee stoppage. She goes on to fight Io Shirai in the next round. That is the semi-finals of the Mae Young Classic. Mia Yim versus Toni Storm. This was the last quarterfinal match. This was a great match, man. A really, really, really great match. Probably the match of the night here between these two. Every time I watch Toni Storm, man, she gets better and better and better every single time. She is easily my favorite out of all the women right now on the roster. And she is my favorite to win the tournament. I said going in, Toni Storm is in it, she's my pick. After what she did last year. And she has not proven me wrong yet. So this one was ended when Toni Storm won with Storm Zero. We've seen two versions of Storm Zero. We've seen one in the UK, which was an air raid crash, which I don't know why she doesn't do it here. And this one, she beat Mia Yim with a sit-out powerbomb. So I guess there's two versions of Storm Zero. I don't know. But I like the one that she does in the UK compared to what she does here. Toni lines her up, hits a running hip attack. I used to love when Toni Storm used to hit the running hip attack and you just slap her ass. What happened to that? She don't do that no more? I like that. Hopefully she brings that back in the final. She underhooks, but it was blocked by Mia Yim. Yim slaps a Saito suplex, and Mia catches a kick and tosses her up. So she goes for a power bomb, and that isn't enough to end it. Wrist lock, drawing her up, setting up soul food. That was blocked. Storm grabs the bad hand. Now Mia Yim's hand was a story here in the tournament, and Toni realized that her hand was taped. She kicked her hand and delivered a German suplex. So she blocked whatever Mia Yim was going for. She kicked her hand, went for a German suplex, and she underhooks the Storm Zero, and boom, Toni Storm wins and advances to the semifinals against Meiko Satomura. Holy shit. If there is an episode of the Mae Young Classic that you guys need to watch, it is going to be next week, man. Rhea Ripley versus Io Shirai and Toni Storm versus Meiko Satomura. Oh my God. We are shaping up for a damn good night for episode number 8, man. So that is that. Really, really good stuff. And it was a very, very good episode, yet emotional episode of the Mae Young Classic. There you go, man. NXT Mae Young Classic, all in one episode. We'll do the same thing again next week. Thank you guys so very much. If you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up. Let me know what you guys are thinking down below of everything that happened tonight. My favorite night of the week for professional wrestling is on Wednesdays, man. 205 Live, NXT, Mae Young Classic, and now we got NXT UK, man. A 4-hour block of can't miss wrestling action. Believe it or not, WWE. I know. It's amazing. So thank you guys so much, man. Hit that thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Follow me on Twitter at JD206. Hit that subscribe button, man. We are 80 away from 99,000 subscribers. Holy shit. Unbelievable. I'll see you guys tomorrow with more WWE 2K19 content. I may do a double upload tomorrow. So I'll let you guys know what's going on with that. Until then, take care. Enjoy your Wednesday nights. And I will see you all for more content right here on Thursday, right here on the channel. I'll talk to you later.